What's up, guys? LA Players 123 back with another video, and in today's video we're going to be painting Mooosh from KS Galaxy TCG. The things I'm going to be using are a bucket or a little cup of water and a paper towel so I can get the paint off of the paintbrush so I can use a different color, and this is to wipe it off. Paper plate to put all the paint on. These are the paintbrushes I'm going to be using. Use a sculpture to paint. I'm going to be painting Mooosh, and then I picked out all these different paints to help me paint Mooosh. So the first thing I'm going to start with are the legs and the body, because those are all the same color except for like these parts that go off and the way bottom parts down here. So the body and the legs are mostly white, but there is like a hint of yellow, so it's like a very, very small yellowish in the white. Pretty hard to see what the white looks like on camera, so I'm going to finish painting it all white. Okay, I finished painting the body white, and now I'm going to move on to this part down here, which is going to be a light green. Okay. So I'm going to be using Pure Heat. Okay. So to me, I feel like it needs to be a little darker, so I'm going to add some black. Okay. If it gets on the stand, that's fine. I'm going to be painting the stand. So that's the first one done. It doesn't look that good because the paint is on the stand, and that makes it look weird. we go. So now I need to do these, which they're kind of like an orange, like yeah, an orange with a little bit of yellow. So I'm gonna use just normal orange. Thought it would be pumpkin, but okay. I'm actually gonna bring some black over to it. Okay. Now I'm gonna see how this looks on it. Okay, so that looks like the right color. I'm gonna pause and I'll be back once it is all painted. Okay, so I've finished painting all of these orange little funguses, and I made sure to go on the bottom side too and paint that. Since the bottom side doesn't really show, you wouldn't have to paint the bottom, but it helps, and yeah. Okay. And looking at this part right here, it looks like it needs its second coat, so I'm gonna go in for the second coat. After 2 coats, it should be enough paint. So now I am done with this part of the body, and I'm going to move on to the big mushroom. Okay, so the big mushroom on the bottom part has like a tannish, kind of like a peachy color. So I'm gonna go grab that. I'll be right back. Okay, so here is what I was thinking of. This is called coral. And so this coral is gonna go up here. And looks like I don't need to add any colors to this. It's already the right color, so I'm just gonna add it in and I'll be right back. So right now I'm using the bigger brush since it's a wider area down here. I'm just going through back and forth, covering every spot. Okay, so I've covered the whole bottom, and now I need to fill in the little cracks. And I'm going to use this black Sharpie, and then after that I'm going to go around the edges with a darker tan color, and we'll see how that looks. Okay. See, I don't know if that's going to work actually, so I'm gonna get out a thinner marker or a thinner paintbrush, and we're just gonna go through each one with the black. So, or actually, I'll try this one. So you have to be very careful. Yeah. Okay. I think that looks good. I'm gonna finish doing that for everyone, and I'll be right back. Okay, I finished going through each of the cracks, and right now the black is going over the edges, and it does not look that good. That is okay. The next step is gonna make that look a whole lot better. So we need some of the coral color. And since it gets darker around the edges, I'm gonna take some red and I'm gonna add it to the coral, or the tan color. That's weird. It's not coming out. Okay. I had to open up the lid and get some out. So now I got some red out. I'm gonna mix it with the tan color to try and make a there we go. That made a nice pinkish tan, or more of a peach color. Now to apply it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush. So I'm going to get out most of the paint. I'm just going to move it back and forth on the plate. It'll be easier if I'm not holding the camera. Okay. And now I'm going to go over the edges. Okay. I'm going to do that for the rest, and I'll be right back. Something that I want to point out that helps when you're painting things like this is, like, even though it's not going around the black line, if I connect it back to the edge, so it looks like a full line, but it's kind of like that. The edge is sharp or at a point. That helps make the highlighting look better. Another thing that helps is if you wipe off all the paint off your paintbrush and you go through and you blend in the edges into the other part of the paint, it makes it transition better and it makes it look better. Okay, so I finished with the inside part. Now I'm ready to work on the top. So I have two reds here. Crimson and just normal red. And it looks like the crimson is going to be good for highlights. And I'm probably going to put some black paint into this red for the darker parts. So that's the darker parts are on top of the main big mushroom right here. It gets a little dark here, and then I'm gonna put crimson as the highlight going through here, and then it'll get darker at the end. So that is my plan for the red. It also looks like the red goes up the mushrooms a little bit. I'm going to use this for detail to go across the edges. Okay, now I'm going to get the crimson. So the red is actually more of a pinkish color, so I'm just going to use black and the crimson to paint this. Once I got most of the details done, I'm going to bring out the big brush. And yeah, so I'll come back once this thing's painted. Okay, so I finished painting the top of the head. Now I'm gonna go through and add more red at the bottom of these mushrooms. Okay, so I finished painting this, and I've worked on the mushrooms. And now I'm going to start working on the arms. So it's going to start with a darker color near the top. It's going to fade to a lighter crimson going through. And then back here, on the top of the fingers, it's going to be dark, and on the other part, it's going to be lighter. So, okay, so I finished the arms, or the darker parts of the arms. And now I'm going to move on to the lighter parts going down. So I'm going to take a dry toothbrush that I wiped all the paint off of. Now I'm going to blend it. I'll be right back when I have all this done. Okay, so I finished the hands and arms that have the lighter color, and now I'm going to go over with the darker crimson. So I'm going to bring it over. get some normal crimson, and I'm just going to blend that in at the edge. Oh boy. I don't know where that black came from. I wiped it off though, so we're good. Okay. And I'll be right back when we're ready to start on the mushrooms. Okay, so I finished the hand and I got them all touched up. And so now I'm going to go over each one of these mushrooms and make sure that they are white. And if they have red on them, I'm going to have to paint it white. Because the mushrooms are all white, and then they have some blue at the bottom that fades as it goes up. So. Looks like this mushroom down here has a lot of red on it. Okay. And I'll be right back when I'm ready to paint the blue one. Okay, so I went through and painted all the mushrooms white because the clay isn't like perfect white, so it's a little like dark white. It's hard to explain, but yeah. So now I'm gonna use this blue. This is called a word blue, if you're wondering. So after I get the word blue on my paintbrush, I'm gonna get most of it off. And then when I go to paint, along the bottom, I'm just gonna go through with it. It'll look like that. Dry brushing does take a lot of time, but the effect it gives is really cool. So I went through, I did the blue through here, and it faded until it got to just white. So the top is going to be white. Do not put blue on it. Now I'm going to go through and do that for the rest. Okay, so I finished painting the blue on all of these. The last thing I need to do for the mushrooms is there are purple dots put around the mushroom. They're not faded, they're just solid purple dots. So I'm going to use purple. Or I could try this purple Sharpie. Let me see if it has the right color. It's not as light as I want it, so I'm just going to stick with painting. To cover up where I tested, I'm just going to put white paint over it. Okay. So, I am going to add some white to the purple. And very carefully, I'm going to place dots onto the mushrooms. This part, you have to have a lot of patience. Some dots are small, some are big. And they're also in the blue. Okay, so I've added all the purple dots, and now we're almost done with Moosh. The last thing I'm going to add is the eyes. I wait till the last because I did not want them to get painted on, because they have to be very, very detailed. Okay, so the eyes are like a yellowish green or lime. So I'm going to use the bright yellow. So there's a line on the top, and it rounds. I'm probably going to go around that with a pencil just to highlight the eyes, just make it easier to see them. Now, since I am going to paint the stand, I do have an idea for what I want to do. Okay. I will be right back. Okay, so I got a Gaios card. I got Gigantros. And for the stand on this part, I'm going to be using the outside color, or the background color. So I have to make that color with the paint, and then I'll get to painting. So I'll be right back. Okay, I've made the color. I tested it a little bit by the foot, just to make sure that wasn't the same color as the foot, because that won't look that good. So I'm going to get you a better angle. Keeps falling over for some reason, so there we go. Hopefully that works. So yeah, I'm painting down here, and this helps bring out the foot better, and because the foot had so much paint on the ground, it looked like it was part of the stand, and that was making it look a little weird, so this is going to help a lot. So I'll be right back once the stand is painted. Okay, I finished painting the top of the stand with the green, and so now I'm thinking about doing kind of like a galaxy theme for this part and the bottom. So I'm going to need some tape. Like this tape. And just get out a piece. Okay, I'm gonna put this on, I'll be right back. Okay, I've taped up this part. Now, I got a new plate to put the black on. And I'm gonna paint the black all around this edge. Okay, so I'm gonna go through and finish the rest of the stand. Okay, so I finished going around the edges and painting the black on. The black did get threw the tape like onto the green, so I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. But right now I'm gonna work on the bottom part. So there's like something coming out of this. What is this? That is disgusting. Okay, I'll be right back until it dries. Okay, so the stand has finished drying. Very carefully, I'm going to flip it the other way. So I'm going to go through with my second coat of the green, and that's going to fix around the edges. And there's some parts that need more. Okay. Gotta be careful going around the edges. So I'm just pushing the brush against the wood, and then it's just gonna hit the part that's supposed to be green. It's not gonna go down over into the part that's supposed to be black. So that's how I'm getting it so perfectly. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, well, that's it for today's video, guys. We're done painting Moosh. He looks super cool. So, comment down below if you liked this series, watching me sculpt a Chaos Galaxy creature, And if you'd want to see me do more of the Chaos Galaxy creatures in sculpture form, just tell me in the comments down below. And make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.